Well, would you look at this on a Wednesday? You have a trio of weather-weenies, Ryan Breton, Dana Osgood, Alan Holt, all with you. And Dana had an exciting day.
I did. So Christian Bridges and I went to the National Weather Service in Gray. They have a winter and a summer media day. So they inform a lot of the local meteorologists in the area, sort of what's been going on lately with developments in the weather community. And we had 6 different presentations today. They were all really good. I feel like I'm just smarter when I get in that building.
Yeah.
There's just so many smart people around me. But I felt like we learned a lot of new stuff. It's more very scientific, very technical stuff that we sort of know about. That doesn't necessarily translate to viewers because some of it's pretty complicated. But I think it was always a great place to go.
Yeah, I was thrilled you guys went because I was going to try to go, but I would have had to come back. And
you would have had to leave
yeah,
early. And
glad we had representation from the two of you, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great time going up there, and I just love getting to see them. I don't get to go up to the National Weather Service very often, so.
Did you cut the tree down by the radar?
No.
No? Okay, yeah.
That's in the works. Dana's trying to do a story on that, but
Yeah,
you know,
I am
take
not
it
cutting
down.
down the trees.
Take
but,
it down.
Coming.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Or whatever tree's blocking it.
I think
A lot.
It's a lot?
No, it's a whole forest.
I know. I
Man,
don't want to
what-
get too
what are
far
we
ahead
doing?
because
I
I don't
know.
want to spoil the story I'm going to do about
Okay,
our
yeah.
radar and the issues that it has. Stay
don't wanna-
tuned.
you don't wanna
for that.
get-
Probably
Yeah, you can
July.
Google Ryan Breton 2020 Weather Service gray trees or whatever.
Something like that,
And the
yeah.
story from 6 years ago will
Still
come up,
available.
and it still hasn't been resolved. And now it's even worse than it was then. So
But yeah, check back in perhaps in July, and
Yeah.
we'll have more information on that.
good stuff. So
Wait, you went to the beach today or yesterday?
Went to be
that's what I was going to bring
Yesterday.
up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you got fully in.
No.
No, you didn't. Okay.
I went up to my ankle. So I would have gone in farther, but the beach I was at, the seaweed to water ratio, it was a lot of seaweed. And the seaweed even that washes up at the beach, I feel like it's a warm, sweaty hand grabbing my ankle, and it really freaks me out. So
What was the ratio?
10-1. The amount of seaweed per water.
So that's normal snow forecast ratio.
But imagine that, and it's seaweed. So I know it's a sign of a healthy ecosystem, but I did not want to stick my foot in there.
I don't blame you, but the water temperatures have come up considerably.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that cold.
Southern Maine, for
My
sure.
friend,
Yeah.
my friend actually dunked twice.
Okay,
That's her
yeah.
thing. If she's gonna go in, she always has to
That was my
dunk twice.
question. That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
Friday I went in all the way.
Did you, but how do you go in?
Oh, well.
Do you? Okay.
It
so,
used to be a
hold on.
dive. It used to be a dive into a wave,
Yeah.
a wave that's about to crash.
Yeah.
A wave.
That's
pretty
classic.
It was a creeping in experience.
Okay,
for
so
me.
so there's the feet, and then you stay
I
there
did
for
the
a
dunk.
while. Okay, you
stood there for a while. Stood there for a while.
Yeah, you stood there
and
for
then
a
I
while.
just
You
dunked.
thought about it.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of
You could
thinking.
go
See, that's
and
that's
go all the
tough.
way down.
I know it's
That's tough.
excruciating.
And you didn't cramp?
No.
Okay. Here's a I don't know if this is common, but if I'm just standing there pondering when to dunk,
Yeah.
because there's really no other way to do it other than just
Right.
take the plunge. I mean, I'll just get my hands, get the water, and kind of get it on me.
Acclimatize.
Yeah, just so I can.
It doesn't
feel it.
count. And
I
then
can
do you
feel
do
it,
it?
and then I
then
go
you do
in.
it. Okay, yeah. I've
No,
done
it's
that, I
just
guess.
to let my body
Yes,
feel it,
yeah.
and so it's okay, the shock's not going to be as bad. But it's kind of like I take a saltwater bath with
Yeah.
my hands, and then just get in.
I mean, I'm never
classic.
concerned about.
Is it okay?
Like they'll put these statements out about cold water and they
Yeah.
call it a beach hazard statement. I'm never concerned about people wading into the ocean. People do it in January for polar plunges.
But for
You know,
I cramp.
Second.
It is the issue is I can't think of an example of an adult having cold water shock in the summer from just wading into the ocean. The real concern is people who go out on paddle boards, kayaks,
Yeah,
and they're in
fall.
deeper water that's probably colder than the near shore water,
Well, I mean,
and they
yeah.
get submerged.
Yes.
That's when you're probably going to have cold water shock.
And you'll see it in Saco Bay.
Right.
They'll go from the beach and paddle out to Wood Island. Or there's buoy out there. You know that buoy I'm talking about? There's a big white buoy in the middle of the
I
bay.
guess.
Maybe not. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
not sure.
They'll go out and paddle around that and then come
Is
back.
Wood Island the big one doesn't have the lighthouse on it?
I think it does have the lighthouse.
So Wood Island
on
Light is
map?
to the side, but there are some.
There's
islands.
another little like trash.
Yeah,
island.
the reason I bring that up is
I don't know if it's trash, but
the
you know,
reason
like
I
a
bring
little-
that up
yeah.
is it's got a name.
Yeah.
But my dad
I don't know.
started calling
Okay.
it Bird Island because he would look with the binoculars
Bird
and there'd be all these
Yeah,
Bird
birds.
Island.
man, I'm not sure.
That's the one without the lighthouse.
With
It's
the
in
green
middle of
light.
the bay. Right.
Yeah, I think that's the Wood Island
Yeah.
lighthouse. Yeah.
Yeah, Wood Island is the one on the Biddeford pool side.
Yeah, so they're not paddling to that one. It's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's always the paddlecraft people that you got to be
That
careful
are,
about.
yes. But what you're referencing, I'm going to make a really young person reference. The acclimatized.
Oh, okay,
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
like a meme or like a little video of this woman who was trying to coax her friend into a lake. And she was like, but the woman was like, oh, the water's really cold. And she was like, you just have to acclimatize. And she like puts one arm in, takes out, puts the other arm in, takes out. And then she goes, double acclimatize. And then both
Okay,
arms.
yeah.
And she goes like, 1, 2, 3, and then gets all the way in. And it, I think it was last summer, became like a meme with like people around my age. So whenever someone says something like that, I'm like, oh yes, like the
Yeah,
acclimatized
that's funny.
video.
Yeah,
If ask any person in their like low 20s about
They'll know.
that, and they might
Okay.
know about
So,
that.
so now I have a question. If I'm out there doing this, are the low to mid 20 somethings going to be like, that guy is really cool?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
So yeah,
You can do it in a
okay.
specific way that you can't be like splashing yourself.
I splash.
No,
I'm
you
like,
have to like one arm
okay,
dip.
yeah, I'm not.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll get me. I'll get it on TikTok.
Well, yeah,
I guess.
well,
I've never
I don't know
seen
if
the
we can show
TikTok.
the video.
Yeah.
The one time a month I go on TikTok. That's it. I allow myself.
well,
once a
it's
month.
like an old meme now. But.
Okay.
Real quickly about the weather, we haven't had much that.
Wait, what's that?
Popped,
What are we doing?
right?
Yeah.
We haven't had much that's developed as of this recording, but we're starting to see some stuff to the west. So perhaps by the time,
as much around.
yeah, maybe by the time you're watching this, there will be some action out there.
A little bit delayed, but it's
Yeah.
coming. Yeah, I think we'll see.
Yeah, not like a huge surprise in the Portland area. I feel like more of a surprise in like the Oxford Hills and northern New Hampshire mountains. So tonight's going to be mild, muggy, and then for tomorrow, we probably start with clouds, but develop some sun. And if we see sun, it could be pretty warm. Will be humid.
I'm
too.
really watching where that trough sets up because
Yeah.
I don't want it to rain in Biddeford Saco. But
There's a chance for a random
Little
shower or
passing
storm. It may be
shower.
like slow moving, especially over the hills. But not everybody will see rain.
no, I think
No, fairly isolated.
by far more won't than those that will.
Less
Definitely.
than
Yeah.
50%, they would say.
Yes.
Much less than 50%.
Much. Yeah.
And then on Friday, I think the best weather is going to be farther away from the coast. We'll likely have a lot of low clouds at the coast that may break for some sun. But also where they see more sun, there probably are some showers that bubble up. So particularly in the mountains in northern Maine on Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And there may be a big temperature difference between like the down east coast and like the far interior. It's one of those days where there probably is a big temperature difference.
Like Bar Harbor to Lewiston.
Right.
Yeah. Big difference.
So we'll see how that pans out. And then a front comes through as we still expect Friday night.
I think the timing on that looks way better.
Yeah, it looks
it's
good.
faster, so it clears quicker Saturday.
Yeah.
The
and
flip
it's not
side,
super different than what we were thinking.
No,
it's just that we're
it's
more
better, though.
confident.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
better that it's trending earlier. The only other thing I would caution against with the earlier is that next one coming in may also come in a touch
Right.
earlier.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
what I call like the weekend bookends.
That's good.
When
We'll
you
take
get,
that.
Yeah.
rain like Friday night and then like Sunday night, but then the bulk of the weekend itself
Yeah.
is dry.
So this will be a tough one because as we look back, let's say it ends up where most of the daytime is fine, Saturday, Sunday, but then we start looking back at weekends with measurable precip in a row and it shows up
Right. Yeah.
like,
That's-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
At that point, we
yes.
throw out the stat almost because I feel like the rainy weekend issue last year, it actually rained during the day.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
almost not even a question.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It was much.
I went and
clearer.
looked it up. I started pulling so this is going to take a second to explain. I pulled the XMASIS data.
Yeah.
I went into Chat GPT and I said, take all of the weekend days for this year and tell me how many of them had rain on them.
Yeah.
And then I had it compute how many then weekends had rain on. So it was a little bit of a
Yeah, yeah.
tedious thing. And it was like Going back to 2020, on average, I want to say it was about 40% of weekends had rain in them.
Okay.
It was interesting to see.
Yeah.
I wasn't positive.
I would wonder how that would. We're almost out of
Yeah,
time. I
yeah.
would wonder how that would compare to other 2-day groupings.
Yes.
Like how many Monday, Tuesdays?
Yeah, it's
how many
interesting.
Wednesday, Thursdays?
I'll
you
add
know?
a very brief just addition onto that is that I think it was last year when we had all the rainy weekends, Keith and I did a segment on that about perspective.
Right.
Of do you think it's raining more than it actually is because it's raining when
you
you're
wanna
trying
go
get
out.
and do
Yes,
things
yeah.
versus like there was also a lot of rainy Tuesday, Wednesdays, but that didn't compute as much. So in some cases it wasn't as rainy as people thought it was because of the days that it was raining on. And that's how we ended up in the drought.
Good stuff. All right, we got a hard wrap. Thanks for
right.
being here. Good discussion. We'll
tomorrow.
keep you posted on the weekend and send any emails if you got thoughts. See ya.